What if I told you that some of the coolest muscle cars ever made have been almost completely forgotten? We all know the famous Mustangs, Camaros, and Chargers, but there are hidden gems out there that rarely get the attention they deserve. Today, we're going to uncover 5 forgotten muscle cars that most people have never heard of. Each of these cars has its own unique story and style, but for some reason, they slipped through the cracks of automotive history. Let's take a look at these underrated machines and see what makes them so special. Okay, here's one for the Mustang fans that you probably haven't heard much about. The 1968 Ford Mustang Golden Nugget Special. Sounds fancy, right? Well, it kind of is. This Mustang wasn't just your run-of-the-mill car. It came out in the Seattle area, and the first thing you'd notice is that flashy sunlit gold paint. Seriously, the thing shines like it's made out of gold. And to give it a little extra flair, they threw on some black stripes on the hood. Simple, but enough to catch your eye. Now, if you ever peek inside, you'll see golden plaques on the dashboard. It's just a nice little touch that screams special edition. But here's where it gets really interesting. They only made 481 of these. Yep, less than 500 of these beauties were ever produced, which makes it super rare. If you're a Mustang collector, this is one of those cars that people dream about finding tucked away in someone's garage. And here's the kicker. You couldn't just pick this car up at any Ford dealer. Nope, you had to be in Seattle to get your hands on one. Talk about exclusive, right? It's no wonder this car has flown under the radar for so long. So why is it so cool? Well, aside from looking awesome with its golden paint and sleek design, it's a piece of Mustang history that not many people know about. Imagine rolling up to a car show in one of these. Instant conversation starter. It's the kind of car that turns heads and gets people talking, just because it's so rare and unique. Here's a car with a story that's as unique as its design. The 1968 Dodge Bengal Charger. If you're into football, you'll love this one because it was made to celebrate the debut of the Cincinnati Bengals football team. That's right, Dodge made a special edition car to mark the occasion, and they didn't hold back on the Bengal-themed look. The first thing that stands out is the design. The Bengal Charger had these cool tiger stripe details to match the Bengals team mascot. You don't see that every day, right? It wasn't just about the looks, though. This Charger still had all the muscle you'd expect from a Dodge. And the best part? You couldn't just go to any dealership to buy one of these. They were only available through a select network of dealerships in the Cincinnati area, making it a pretty exclusive ride. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Dodge didn't make a lot of these. With its limited production, the Bengal Charger quickly became one of those cars that not many people know about, but the ones who do are obsessed with it. It's one of those forgotten classics that you don't see at every car show or hear people talking about, which makes it all the more special. Imagine cruising around in this thing, with its bold design and the story behind it. It's not just a Charger, it's a Charger with a piece of NFL history attached to it. If you're into rare cars with cool backstories, the 1968 Dodge Bengal Charger is definitely one you'll want to remember. Now here's a pair of muscle cars that don't always get the attention they deserve. The Dodge Aspen and Plymouth Volare. If you're into the muscle car scene, these names might not pop up right away, but they should. These two were built in the late 70s, and while they often get overlooked, they packed a lot of punch under the hood. Both the Aspen and the Volare offered that classic V8 power you'd expect from a muscle car, along with rear-wheel drive. Sure, they didn't have the flashy reputation of the Mustangs or Camaros, but that's what makes them such hidden gems. For muscle car fans who really know their stuff, the special editions of these cars are where things get interesting. Take the Petty and Super Coupe versions, for example. These were loaded with extra performance features and unique styling that made them stand out from the crowd. The Petty edition was named after racing legend Richard Petty, and it had a lot of the flair you'd expect from something with his name on it. The Super Coupe, well, that one took things up a notch with its aggressive look and upgraded handling. The thing about the Aspen and Volare is that they flew under the radar, but for those who know, these cars are absolute treasures. They're not the kind of muscle cars everyone talks about, but that's part of their appeal. If you're looking for something different, something with a bit of an underdog story, these two are worth a second look. Classic V8 power, rear-wheel drive, and some cool special editions. What's not to love? Let's talk about a car that doesn't get nearly the attention it deserves. The 1969-72 Pontiac Grand Prix SJ. You've probably heard of the GTO, right? Well, the Grand Prix SJ was like the forgotten cousin in the family, even though it had just as much to offer, if not more. This car was a perfect blend of power and luxury, which isn't something you see every day in the muscle car world. What made the SJ trim special was its beast of an engine. A 428 cubic inch V8. This wasn't just any V8, it packed serious power, making the Grand Prix SJ a force to be reckoned with on the road. But it wasn't all about speed. Pontiac went all out with the luxury features in this model, turning it into a high-performance luxury coupe that could go toe-to-toe with some of the best muscle cars of its time. The thing is, the GTO hogged all the spotlight, so the Grand Prix SJ got a bit overshadowed. But for those in the know, this car was something special. It wasn't just about raw power, it was about cruising in style. Imagine sitting behind the wheel of this beauty with all the power under the hood and a cabin packed with refined, comfortable features. It gave you the best of both worlds. Today, it's a car that tends to be forgotten, but true muscle car enthusiasts recognize its unique appeal. The combination of power and refinement is hard to beat, and the 1969-72 Pontiac Grand Prix SJ definitely deserves a spot in any conversation about classic muscle cars. Here's a muscle car that doesn't get nearly enough credit: the 1970 AMC Rebel Machine. If you've never heard of it, you're not alone. But trust me, this car deserves a spot in the Muscle Car Hall of Fame. AMC wasn't exactly known for being a big player in the muscle car scene, but with the Rebel Machine, they decided to go all out. The first thing you'd notice about this car is the bold red, white, and blue paint job. It's loud, it's proud, and it's definitely not something you'd forget after seeing it. But the Rebel Machine wasn't just about looks. It had some serious power under the hood, too. AMC fitted this beast with a 390 cubic inch V8 engine, giving it the performance to match its flashy appearance. It could go from 0 to 60 in just over 6 seconds, which, for the time, was pretty impressive. Despite all this, the Rebel Machine didn't get the same recognition as its competitors, like the Mustangs and Camaros. It was kind of the underdog of the muscle car world, but that's part of what makes it so cool. It didn't have the marketing or the fanfare that the big names had, but for those who knew about it, the Rebel Machine was something special. Today, it's a car that stands out not just for its unique style, but for its place in muscle car history. It's one of those cars that might not have been in the spotlight back in the day, but it's gained a lot of respect among collectors and enthusiasts. The 1970 AMC Rebel Machine is a true gem for anyone who loves a good underdog story in the world of muscle cars. And there you have it, 5 forgotten muscle cars that deserve way more recognition. If you enjoyed learning about these hidden gems, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Revved Rides for more incredible car content. Don't forget to drop a comment about which one was your favorite and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.